1. Which of the following best demonstrates a Florida General Contractor's application of adult learning principles when training new site supervisors? A. Delivering information strictly through lectures and manuals. B. Encouraging hands-on learning and peer discussions based on past experiences. C. Providing only digital course materials for independent study. D. Requiring trainees to memorize all state building codes verbatim. 2. When evaluating a contractor's safety training program, what metric best measures the program's effectiveness? A. Number of slides in the presentation. B. Worker satisfaction surveys. C. Reduction in on-site incidents post-training. D. Length of the training session. 3. In developing a curriculum for new apprentices, what should be prioritized to ensure alignment with Florida's regulatory standards? A. Local labor market trends. B. Building Code Chapter 489 compliance. C. Contractor preference. D. Participant feedback. 4. A Florida general contractor is mentoring a new employee. Which mentoring technique best supports professional growth? A. Providing step-by-step instructions with no feedback. B. Setting clear goals and using reflective questioning. C. Avoiding constructive criticism. D. Assigning repetitive tasks without explanation. 5. Which evaluation method most accurately assesses a trainee's understanding of OSHA compliance requirements? Oral recall of terms. B. Multiple choice quiz only. C. Job site simulation assessment. D. Peer grading. 6. In a learning module about electrical safety, which instructional design method best supports adult learners? A. Abstract theory-based instruction. B. Task-based scenario problem solving. C. Extensive written essays. D. Lecture-only sessions. 7. When designing continuing education for licensed contractors, what should guide curriculum structure? A. Learner's prior field experience and current code updates. B. Trainer's personal construction experience. C. Outdated regulatory manuals. D. Manufacturer marketing content. 8. A contractor uses a pre- and post-test to measure knowledge gain. This evaluation represents which approach? A. Summative assessment. B. Diagnostic assessment. C. Formative assessment. D. Norm-referenced assessment. 9. Which communication strategy best resolves conflicts between subcontractors on a job site? A. Avoiding direct discussion. Emphasizing shared project goals and active listening. C. Issuing unilateral orders. D. Referring all issues to legal counsel. 10. Florida law requires contractors to provide safety training consistent with which governing authority? A. Florida Building Commission. B. Department of Labor's OSHA standards. C. Federal Communications Commission. D. Environmental Protection Agency. 11. Which factor most influences adult learner motivation in contractor development programs? A. External rewards such as certificates. Relevance of content to current job challenges. C. Instructor's speaking tone. Classroom decor. 12. When mentoring an apprentice on blueprint reading, what instructional technique enhances retention? A. Demonstrating and having the learner replicate the task. B. Reading aloud construction terminology. C. Showing unrelated design plans. D. Providing only written explanations. 13. In evaluating on-site training outcomes, what best demonstrates compliance with Florida construction regulations? A. Trainee self-reports. B. Documented adherence to state code practices. C. Attendance sheets. D. Satisfaction surveys. 14. A curriculum designed for licensed Florida contractors must include which element for regulatory compliance? A. Continuing education on Florida Building Code updates. B. Leadership skills unrelated to construction. C. General business finance. D. Foreign construction methods. 15. Which mentoring approach helps apprentices develop problem-solving confidence? A. Giving them complete control without oversight. B. Allowing guided decision-making and review discussions. C. Avoiding error correction. D. Assigning them only observation duties. 16. When assessing communication effectiveness during toolbox talks, which factor is most critical? A. Amount of technical jargon used. B. Engagement and feedback from the crew. C. Duration of the meeting. Use of printed handouts only. 17. In designing a contractor training program, which evaluation type provides continuous feedback for improvement? A. Summative evaluation. Diagnostic evaluation. C. Formative evaluation. D. Predictive evaluation. 18. What principle of adult learning applies when a contractor customizes lessons based on individual project experience? A. Readiness to learn. B. External motivation. C. Teacher-centered control. Passive observation. 19. A Florida General Contractor creates an online training module for hurricane-resistant design. What ensures compliance with state standards? A. Referencing Florida Building Code, FBC, wind load requirements. B. Using general U.S. guidelines only. C. Citing international standards without modification. D. Ignoring local permitting requirements. 20. When giving performance feedback, what is the most effective communication technique? A. Deliver feedback immediately and specifically. B. Provide vague generalizations. C. Delay feedback until the project ends. D. Use only written comments. 21. Which element best supports measurable outcomes in a contractor's educational program? A. Clearly defined learning objectives. B. Anecdotal training stories. C. Instructor intuition. D. Unstructured discussions. 22. What instructional method promotes critical thinking among advanced contractors? A. Case-based problem-solving discussions. B. Simple recall exercises. C. Scripted training videos only. D. Memorization of code numbers. 23. During mentorship, a contractor uses shadowing to help an apprentice learn. What learning approach is this? A. Experiential learning. B. Theoretical learning. C. Passive instruction. Auditory repetition. 24. When updating a course on environmental compliance, what regulation must Florida contractors include? A. Clean Water Act and Florida DEP regulations. B. International Maritime Code. C. Federal Aviation Standards. D. Traffic rules. 25. To improve communication in a diverse team, what should a contractor prioritize? A. Culturally responsive communication strategies. Using slang to appear relatable. C. Ignoring language barriers. D. Focusing only on written instructions. 26. Which of the following best describes a summative evaluation in contractor education? A. Ongoing feedback after each session. B. A final test measuring total learning outcomes. C. An informal peer discussion. D. A skills checklist before training begins. 27. What key consideration ensures training materials remain current? A. Regular updates reflecting code revisions and industry standards. B. Using outdated manuals for cost savings. C. Depending solely on instructor memory. D. Ignoring new legislation. 28. Which Florida statute primarily governs general contractor licensing and compliance? A. Chapter 489 Florida Statutes. B. Chapter 723 Florida Statutes. C. Chapter 120 Florida Statutes. D. Chapter 377 Florida Statutes. 29. What best defines the purpose of mentoring within a contracting organization? A. Developing leadership and professional competence in less experienced members. B. Increasing project speed only. C. Reducing payroll costs. D. Limiting independent thinking. 30. In contractor continuing education, scenario-based learning primarily enhances what skill? A. Real-world application and decision-making. B. Memorization of code sections. C. Lecture note recall. D. Administrative reporting. 31. A contractor collects trainee feedback after each module. What type of evaluation is this? A. Formative evaluation. Summative evaluation. C. Predictive evaluation. Diagnostic evaluation. 32. What is the best practice for ensuring transparency in contractor-client communication? A. Documenting agreements and updates in writing. B. Discussing details informally only. C. Avoiding difficult conversations. D. Assuming mutual understanding. 33. When designing mentorship plans, which factor most supports sustainable learning outcomes? A. Setting measurable goals and regular progress reviews. B. Leaving progress unmonitored. C. Avoiding written plans. D. Emphasizing only short-term tasks. 34. When conducting an internal audit for compliance in a Florida construction project, what is the most effective first step for a general contractor? A. Reviewing all subcontractor agreements for adherence to licensing requirements. B. Interviewing employees about personal opinions on management. C. Waiting until project completion to check compliance. D. Delegating compliance entirely to external inspectors. 35. During a Florida General Contractor's project management workshop, which instructional strategy most effectively integrates adult learning theory with regulatory compliance training? A. Using real project case studies that apply Florida Building Code regulations. B. Reading aloud the entire code without discussion. C. Providing theoretical overviews without practical context. D. Assigning independent reading only.